Hello, everybody. I hope you are doing well. You know what time it is when you don't see me on camera and you see these stacks. If you've been with me before, if you are just landing here, I do pick a card readings. I do mostly political content, but I also do pick a card readings for the new moon and full moon. So we've got a full moon in Libra. And wow, this energy is going to be really, really potent. All new and full moons bring their unique energy, but especially in the time we're living in right now, April, this month, having so many astrological powerhouses with everything, the planets lining up. Many of you are into astrology and you know what's going on. So I'm not an astrologer. I'm just an avid student, if you will. But I do know that this month is offering so much energy to us, and a full moon in Libra, we think about relationships. We think about, Libra ruled by Venus and how we're feeling about our relationships, the balance of those relationships ruled by the scales, right? So that was my thought and prayers as I was preparing these piles. Again, if you haven't been with me, I do not see any of these cards. I cleanse and prepare the decks. I pull the decks according to what Spirit tells me to pull. But I don't see the cards until I actually sit down here with you all and tape. So I get really excited about it because I don't know what's coming. All right, so let's get ready to go in. This is pile number 1, pile number 2, and pile number 3. Sometimes people are pulled to all 3. Sometimes your intuition, pulls you immediately to one. Just go with what you feel. So pile number 1 is going to be this citrine. I guess it feels like I'm holding it upside down. It's beautiful citrine. That's pile number 1, if you're drawn to that. Pile number 2, a great piece of Super 7. Hold that up for you. Super 7, pile number 2. And pile number 3, beautiful tiger's eye. All right, pile number 3. Okay, so let's go ahead and put 3 and 2 over to the side for a moment, and let's go in on pile number 1 and see what your guidance is for this full moon in Libra. If you were drawn to the citrine, let's see what Spirit has for you. You're starting out with, interestingly, you're starting out with 2 major arcana. Wow, this is really powerful. You're starting out with temperance and death. Both of these are really strong energies around shifts and changes, and perhaps in relation to a full moon in Libra, this really feels like some of you may be in situations where you really are having to close something out or really shift something in terms of how your relationships are balanced. This could also be something within you where you are undergoing a change internally and rebalancing and recalibrating your life, what really matters to you, what kinds of relationships matter, those that you do have, how you manage them, all those sorts of things, but very, very transitional energy that's happening here. You've got timing. This is interesting. You got 3 cards that came for you. They were like stuck together. So this is interesting. Let me look at this upright towards me for a moment. Because again, remember, I don't see these cards until I pull them for you. All right. So we've got gratitude. 10 is essentially 10 of Cups. Gratitude with 9 of Wands, resistance. And timing. 7 of is that Earth? Yeah, 7 of Earth. So you're evaluating, this is some of that shift that we saw. You're evaluating what you are grateful for, like what's working for you, but also the toll that it may be taking on you. Some of you may be a little like you've taken on too much, especially, again, all things going back to relationships, keeping your life in balance. So some of you may be a little burned out, that it just feels like things are piling up on you and it's time for a change. You want this feeling. And perhaps some of you are realizing the path to releasing some of this what makes you feel weighed down, is evaluating what makes you happy. All right, that's that deeply transitional energy that we see happening here. Now, you've got a casket, and I'm actually, don't let that be alarming, but think about that in the context of that death major arcana that you got, because this is definitely something that is coming to an end. Let me read the message on here. It says someone going out of your life or the end of a situation. You see that? So this is definitely some sort of recalibration that Spirit is saying you're undergoing, pile number one. And your reason for it is that whatever it is has been weighing you down. And I love that you got Temperance, because Temperance really does like the win-win situation. It's not about you crossing people out of your life necessarily, or trying to twist yourself in knots to become someone else. It's a process that you're undergoing. But Spirit is saying, if you have been thinking about the fact that in order for you to move forward, something has to give or someone has to give, that's the assessment that you're undergoing. So that this is where Spirit says you're heading, which is to feel free. Notice even in that image coming up out of that lotus, right? And the moon, that full moon, like all of that is very, very intentional for you. It's a beautiful energy. It just feels like an energy whose time has come. You got a dog far away. A distant friend is thinking of you. Let me hold that up for you. Someone who's loyal to you. And distant doesn't necessarily mean like far away from you location wise. It could be someone that you just haven't talked to in a long time. Someone who you might really benefit from at this time, because dogs are loyal. And far away could be emotionally far away, or in fact, it could be someone who lives with some distance. So in the context of what's happening here for you, it could be that Spirit is saying, listen, reach out to that person. If somebody's been running across your mind a lot lately, or if this message pings you and you go, here's someone I think that knows me, knows my story, knows the history, knows what I would be talking about if I said something needs to change, and give you some release. That's it. You've got the Ace of Pentacles, the Architect. What are you rebuilding? What are you ready to rebuild? What are you ready to reset? The Architect. And this is an Akashic deck, by the way. So this is also looking at what you have built, not just in a past life, but what you have built over the course of time. It holds a lot of value for you because it represents a lot of your life's work, a lot that you have taken on. In fact, I'm going to put it over here. A lot that you've taken on, and it has a lot of meaning for you. But there's almost an urge I'm getting to rebuild or reshift the dynamic of the relationship, the thing. For some of you as well, this could be a job. This could be something that a career or something that you dedicated yourself to for a really long time. And so that would be an architect, like what you built, but you're definitely ready. There's an assessment and you're ready to move on in a way that's going to bring you joy. You have honor yourself. Recognize, oh wow, look how this ties in, you all. Honor yourself. Recognize the hard work you've put in to get where you are today. Oh my gosh, if that doesn't talk, and again, I don't see this until I pull it for you. Instead of thinking how far you still have to go, remind yourself of all that you've accomplished and be proud. You see that? Be proud. And that's part of that rebirthing and the timing, like taking your time to really be honest in the assessment and honoring yourself. What might be feeling like, I don't want to say wasted energy, but what might be coming across as, I've done all of this and there's some disappointment or lack of recognition in a relationship. And relationships can be work related for sure. This Spirit is saying, don't get discouraged. Honor yourself. Whether somebody else gives you your props, This is a time in this full moon in Libra to say, hey, I know who I am. I know what I've done. I know all the hard work that I've put in. I know how I have supported this relationship, how I've shown up for it, and take honor the fact that you've done that. Honor your own loyalty is what I'm getting from Spirit. All right. You've got eternal life that comes. That's powerful. And notice too, because death is also a rebirth. It is what goes away so that what can come in. So notice the figure in light and the figure in shadow. And temperance is also a card of duality, where you've got different things or different people that you put together, you alchemize it to figure out how to go forward. This is also about honoring yourself, because eternal life is talking about you are an infinite being. And some of you may feel like so much of your life energy has gone towards something that you are at a point now of reassessing it and deciding, here's how I need to move forward. And it may not be easy, but this eternal life is, I think, Spirit highlighting and reminding you of your divine self, of your divine. You are a spirit here to have a human experience, and maybe that's part of the rebalancing that needs to happen in this full moon in Libra. Remembering as well, full moons very often are that time of release, let it go, done. Time served, if you will. All right. So Spirit is reminding you that you are an infinite being. You are a spiritual being having a human experience, and so some of this change that you may be feeling has to happen. Is necessary, and it's good. It's actually there to honor yourself. You've got air, and that's interesting because Libra is an air sign. Another way of shifting, another call to shift, and also your mental processes, like knowing that everything that's in motion around you. And also Spirit is highlighting, I need to point out that's a 22, if that means anything for some of you. All right. There's the time that you take now to assess is a mental process where, hey, it's all about sitting back, getting that meditation time together, just getting yourself, resetting your nervous system. I just heard, like, deep breathing, taking your time. Like, I hear for some of you, you rush through meals. I don't know why that's coming up, but they're saying, like, even things like rushing through meals and when you sit down to eat, or maybe you're just on the go and just, moving. Spirit is saying, take some time to be more conscious about your movements, to slow down when you need to slow your mind down when you need to speak to yourself more lovingly as an eternal being. You've got a sovereign knowing. I trust my discernment. You see how that's all tying together? And so much of what has happened in this energy pattern that you've devoted yourself to has been an exercise, if you will, of learning more about yourself. Trust that whatever moves you make, that's part of that mental process as well, in that air. Trust that whatever moves you make right now, pile number one, that sovereign is to be in control of, to stand on, and your sovereign knowing is tied to your eternal self, your higher self, your spiritual aspect. All right. So this is really, Spirit is saying, come out of just the surface level thinking of how things appear, how people are around you in your life right now, or even your own internal processes and habits, to look at them from a higher perspective, because there is that sovereign knowing. There's a power struggle here. Control and influence are being tested. Be mindful of who holds the power in this situation. Are you leading with integrity, or are you being led by someone else's agenda? Let me hold that up for you. So maybe that's a lot of what's happening here, is you reasserting your own power over what this is, whatever this time of life and situation has been. Something that's ending, something that has to shift, something that's going to be healing for you. And there is this power struggle where maybe you have, up until this point, maybe you have relied on somebody else's guidance or leadership, or waiting for, because we know too, thank you, Spirit, we know too that in Libra energy, very often Libras can be, because they want the win-win, they want the love, they want all things to be equal between people. And so the power struggle here is saying, if that is not the case, and if you have put out all of this energy to try and make things be equal with this other person or thing, situation, job, etc., that's the power struggle. It also could be the power struggle within you, the you that's trying to be rebirthed and happier, and the you that has habits that tends to sabotage that. You get it? So what that power struggle is, sovereign knowing. That's the thing that Spirit is talking about here. We have the aspirant, ambition, diligence, and setbacks. It's time to reclaim your ambition, reclaim your knowing of what kind of life you really want to live and how you want to feel. And Spirit is saying, wake back up to your aspirations. Some of what has occurred, especially I'm drawn to that word, setbacks. But notice setbacks is in contrast to ambition and diligence and being an aspirant, having the keys to the future. But there's two keys, right? There's decisions and choices that you're making, which is why that sovereign knowing is so important right now for you. Spirit is saying it's okay to allow yourself to have this reset, because there are still things that you want to rebuild or build again, maybe even starting from scratch or having to recalibrate things, how things are going with that architect. All right, a stone that will help you right now, look at what came, because you chose this. Look at that, the yellow citrine. So we're really working with your solar plexus chakra, your willpower, your confidence, your belief in yourself, that sovereign knowing, working with your higher self in that eternal life. All right. Citrine. I'm going to yellow citrine, and it says energy crystal. It supports your physical nervous system. It boosts life force and vitality. It revitalizes your whole physical body. It provides power and strength. It supports your digestive system, your metabolism, your abdomen and stomach. Emotionally, it provides relief from shame, timidity if there's been those power struggles, feelings of helplessness and depression, and it increases your creativity, imagination, optimism, self-expression, and joy. Self-empowerment. Notice the key words at the bottom. I have unlimited energy. Okay? Unlimited energy. So it's a rebuild. It's a reset. It's a rebirth. Because whatever you have given so much of your energy over to, if it has not come back to feed you, it's time to reassess that. Give it some deep thought. Know that the decisions you make going forward are in your own best interest, because this is your goal, that 10 of Cups. And finally, I got two more. Partnership. Wow, talk about a Libra energy. There's more partnerships coming for you. I think that's how I feel. That's what Spirit is giving me. There's more partnerships coming for you, pile number one. And I'm also drawn, this is a 14, which is also temperance. There's a tie-in here to the partnership. It's almost as if Spirit is saying you got to clear out the way, you got to clear out something that you're tied to now in order to let something new in order to be prepared for this new energy that wants to come your way. And your final card is have faith. Divine timing is at play. You got it? And notice timing. All right? So whatever, all of that, you know what part of your life this really applies to. It is timing. On the one hand, it's timing about Spirit is saying it's time to really, really release and trust your decision to release whatever that, whoever, whatever. And if it is an internal situation really about you, it's time to do it. This is a clear indication that it's time to do it. Somebody will help you through it. Going back to that dog, somebody will help you through it. Somebody, either, a professional or a friend or somebody who just you feel safe and has some loyalty with you. But have faith. Divine timing is at play. Think about your yellow citrine you were tied to energize you, to give you the willpower and confidence to get through this period, get through this rebirth, because that's what's coming for you. All right, pile number 1. That was actually really, it was powerful. It's deep, but happy. Like, you see where you're headed and you see what you deserve. All right, moving on to pile number 2. Those of you who were drawn to the Super 7. Let's see what your cards say. Let's see what Spirit has for you. We have the 9 of Wands. That's interesting. Pile number 1 got that 9 of Wands too. It's in a different deck. So again, a lot of energy going out. Everybody's doing so much right now. This is a time in a moment in time where everybody's having to dig deep for energy in one way or another. You've got the Knight of Swords. You've got integrity. That's Temperance. Interesting. And then you've got imagination. There's some new information coming your way, or because you were drawn to this Super 7, which has all of those aspects of amethyst and is a deeply spiritual stone. There's something where you are pushing in a good way. You are pushing to maintain your integrity, to maintain your vision, to maintain your energy, to keep your eyes on the prize, as it were, to use your imagination to counter what would otherwise tire you out. This almost feels like like a resistance movement within your own life, within your own self. Like, definitely whatever's going on with you, pile number 2, you're strong. You're very, very strong. And even though there may be conflicting messages around how you move forward, how you maintain your integrity, you're going to do it. Absolutely, you're going to do it. You've got a teapot, a deep friendship, a deep friendship with someone of the same sex. So maybe you're talking things through with somebody. Some of that could be if you're having many different opinions and people coming at you, or this could be a clarity that you get from having conversations with someone. And it says particularly of the same sex. Not sure why that matters as much, but if that applies, if you know who that is. And that could also be someone who helps you, who buffers and props you up and helps you stay strong in your integrity. You have victory in some endeavor. It looks like an Aries energy there too. Victory in some endeavor. What are you trying to do that requires integrity? And it also requires like a big picture. Looking forward long term, not just what has to happen now. Excuse me, because right now it is requiring a lot of effort from you to maintain, and maybe even to maintain your dreams, to maintain this vision that you have. But this talking it out with someone, and that also came in pile number 1. If you pulled this pile, you might benefit. If you've got the time, you might benefit from the citrine pile number 1 as well. You've got the 4 of Pentacles, clearing the way. This is an Akashic deck. Your spirit guides, your higher self, is helping you during this time to maintain, not only maintain your integrity, but to utilize what you've known in a past life, the stability and the knowledge that you've gained to build your future. In other words, Spirit is saying you've got the tools, it's victory in some endeavor. You've got the tools, you've built the knowledge, you've built the skills, you've got the wisdom, you've got a lot going for you. And it's just about putting the pieces together to create something that you are imagining for your future. You've got enabling that comes. There's someone you're helping, or there is someone you're helping, or are you? In reality, you might be enabling them to continue in negative patterns and never take full responsibility for themselves. Step back and let things play out. Are you an enabler? Or is there someone who you're trying to stay in your integrity and be focused forward, but there's someone that you may, they may have, and it's not to say they're a bad person or it's a bad situation. It's just that you could be someone that people or a person is leaning on, and it can be a distraction. Spirit is saying, it's not about cutting them off or doing anything drastic, but it is about recognizing your role in enabling someone else perhaps to continue to participate in whatever behavior they're in. And it may not be in alignment with your integrity. That's the caution that Spirit is giving you here. All right. You've got, because I'm not surprised this came, because you've got fierce compassion. You are a loyal person. And some of you may be fixed signs. What is that? That's Leo, Aquarius, Scorpio, where when you dedicate yourself to a person, to a career, to a business, to a course of study, like you're all in. And Spirit is saying that compassion is beautiful, but also examine when it does you well, when you are in your integrity with that, or when it takes you off course. I'm also getting on the flip side of that, because again, going back to this being such a spiritual stone, this is the compassion of your spirit team, your ancestors and your guides that are coming toward you. They want to offer you that compassion. And they're saying, the kind of compassion that we offer you, offer yourself, and not let yourself leak out too much of that, because that's going to clear the way for you to move forward. That to use that fierce compassion, that fierce loyalty, and to achieve that victory in some endeavor in life that you have right now, pile number 2, that you're moving towards in this imagination. Compassion is a big part of it, but it's okay to say, I feel for you, or I feel for this situation, but I cannot allow that to deter me from reaching my goal. You have the outer core, that's interesting, and fluidity. There's something here where Spirit is saying it's not an either or situation. There's something that's requiring you to be fluid in the situation, in your how you approach the situation, to be fluid in that, and to consider more than one way to do it. Maybe that's why imagination is there as well. So if this is something or someone that is in your life right now, again, and all things around maintaining your integrity, so that you can have the victory. And it may mean being fluid, not being rigid. Again, I'm drawn to some of you may be a little stubborn, okay? Saying that in love, a little stubborn, a little fixed, and also there could be a purity here where to you things are black or white. It is or it ain't, right? And I get that, but Spirit is saying at this moment in this full moon in Libra, Libra again being scales, being relationships, being that energy that wants to see a win-win. It may mean that you have to have a little more fluidity. You've got witchcraft here. I return to sacred ritual. That's your ability to impact and influence this situation. And yeah, this card may look a little spooky to some of you, but really it's about developing rituals for yourself to influence the situation around you. This is manifestation techniques. This is lighting the candles. This is saying your prayers to your ancestral court, your angelic court, your spirit team. That's what that skull is representing there. So I return to sacred ritual, representing even in the background. I don't know if you can see it. Those are trees. That's nature. And that's what a lot of, when we think about witchcraft, that's what a lot of that really is about. And paganism, it's not about so much, spell casting and all that, those stereotypes that can get attached to it. It's about working with nature, the forces of nature, to impact or change a situation, to keep yourself in integrity, to be true and loyal to the people that you care about, but not at the cost of your integrity and not doing what you're supposed to do. There's an agreement. Common ground is being found, creating the space for resolution and peace. Harmony will emerge, not from forcing your will, but from allowing understanding to bridge the divide. That's that fluidity that we just talked about as well. I think there's some interesting conversations that some of you may be having with a person that you trust. Maybe even doing ritual with that person, doing, prayer, candles, going to the beach together, taking a walk together and discussing spiritual things while you're out in nature. But there's an agreement that you're coming to for how to move forward, maintaining your integrity, being who you are, staying true to your authentic self while going towards what's pulling you, okay? You've got the acolyte here. New projects and learning. New projects and learning. I think Spirit is calling you, pile number 2. And this is some of this witchcraft as well. Getting in nature, doing rituals, inviting the highest energy, fear is compassion, the highest, lightest, most honorable energy in to help you on. Notice, remember, you got that victory on your projects. And here you've got new projects and learning. So if you are thinking of starting a new business, a new aspect to your business, a new hobby that you undertake, a new skill that you decide you want to acquire, whatever that is, because an acolyte is learning, right? Doing something, and it's a new project. You will have victory in it, but what's essential to having that victory is, in order for you to maintain the effort that you're going to need to see it through, 9 of Wands, and emerge in integrity. And the 5 of Swords can be that there's a lot around that can take you off your, make you second guess. So there's somebody there that'll help you stay on course, okay? And for sure, your spirit team is showing up to do that. You've got red jasper as a stone that will help you. And notice it says basic security. So this is getting grounded. I think that's another reason why you got this witchcraft out in nature, leaving an offering at the base of a tree, planting flowers, something. It can be light and bright and beautiful, but it grounds you. It helps you It helps you believe. It helps give you and motivate you to keep going in whatever this endeavor is. And of course, it relates to the root chakra. What makes you feel safe? What you know you can count on? Your security. Basic security. And I also think that's why Spirit is saying there's something new that you're learning around what makes you feel safe. And it could be even rituals that you do around your home that keep you grounded. It could be cleansing your home. It could be using more crystals that bring the energy of safety and grounding in your home. And that's also why you've got that imagination, because this is a period where this full moon in Libra is helping you establish a balance in how you have traditionally done things. That fixed energy, that stubborn energy that I saw, the fluidity that Spirit is calling on you to have. There's your recalibration in this full moon and release in the full moon is maybe letting go of some of the old so that you can make an agreement to usher in the new, because you're going to do it. You're definitely going to do it. You've got an angel here. I'm not going to mess up this name. I'm going to hold it up for you, but it says purity. Hold up there. And purity. There's a delight that you're going to find in remaining true to yourself. There's a rediscovery. That's what's going to ground you. There's a rediscovery that despite whatever may have splintered your energy, whatever may have made you feel a little off-centered, or like you've gone in you zigged when you should have zagged, your purity is there, and or it is being reestablished. This is also actual cleansing, and that could also go back to that witchcraft in nature. This could be sound healing. This could be nature bathing. If you had not heard of that, it's like where you go out in nature, and the idea is that by exposing yourself to the elements, they cleanse you. There's that purity. And also, because notice all that green there, like there's so much healing. And I also wonder, with this acolyte learning new projects and a victory, some of you might really be pointing towards, or Spirit is pointing you towards, a healing path, making an agreement to be a healer, making an agreement to learn how to use the forces of nature to not only heal yourself, and doing so in integrity, but developing a practice around that, like really making yourself available to others to do that. All right. And finally, it says here, it's the wrong time. I think what Spirit is pointing to here is it's the wrong time in terms of taking any drastic steps. There's some evaluation that has to come here. And there's some, in that fluidity, there's a reset that Spirit is saying. There is the need for purification. There is the need to get in nature and do some rituals, because that's what's going to give you the clarity. And so it's not the time right now. If you're feeling pressured to make a decision, make a change, something's going on in your life that's really causing you to feel like you got to, leap without looking, Spirit is saying, don't do that. Okay? Get back to basics, get back to your center, talk it out with somebody, and then get ready to make your agreement with Spirit through your healing journey. I really do think you're being called to some form of healing. And we know healing comes in so many different ways, right? There's writing, there's ritual, there's elevating yourself in using, discovering, learning about, and using your gifts to become a priest, a priestess, a healer, a Reiki master, a musician, a sound therapy person, a masseuse, any of it, all of it. But that's where I think you're going. And it's the wrong time to Make a decisive thing. That fixed energy again, all right? That stubbornness that maybe some of you can lean into, or if you're dealing with somebody stubborn and trying to push you in a certain direction, now is not the time to cave into that. Now is the time to really take your time and make sure things are in balance, all right? All right, pile number 2. I hope that was helpful. Let me know. And I'm going to move on now to our last but not least, pile number 3. Those of you who were drawn to the tiger's eye, let's see what this full moon in Libra has for you. Take a sip of my coffee. Alrighty. Interesting. You're starting out with the Ace of Pentacles. What are you building or ready to build, or some sort of renewal or new opportunity? That's beautiful. That comes with, though, the 9 of Swords. All right. So are you ready to start again? Has something happened to make you fearful of starting again, which might also be why spiritually you were drawn to this tiger's eye, such a protective and yet energizing stone. So there's something new that's calling you that may be also a little fearful. You've got departure here. Maybe some of you are moving, leaving a job, leaving a situation. You've got alchemy. Another ace. Wow. Okay, hold on. Oh, and look, okay, I'm getting it. I just happened to look down and see one of your oracles that comes, because these are your catalyst cards. Look, career. All right, so if you pick this stack, there chances are, and this may not be for everybody. Remember, these are general readings, but you could be, I mean, this could be retirement. This could be where a job has been eliminated or changed in some way. But I go back to your first card was this opportunity to rebuild. And you've got the bull, and it says, do not back down from opposition, show strength and fortitude, all right? So whatever this change is, and Spirit is showing it in career, and this could also be something that is approaching you if it hasn't happened yet. But whatever this is, Spirit is saying, hold on, because it's a reset. It's something that is being alchemized and changing. It may even require you to change. You may have to go into a different type of work or learn different skills in a current job. Or again, alchemy around retirement or planning for retirement and being a little concerned about that. Pentacles in relation to your money, your savings, if you're really prepared to do it. But look, you've got the 7 of Earth, the Ascent. It's time. You've been building toward whatever this is, whether you knew it consciously or not. This is an Akashic deck. So whether you consciously knew that you were headed for this time of your life, pile number 3, you've been on the ascent. You've been preparing for this for some time. I am feeling a very strong pull to retirement or starting something new where this departure leads you to something greater. Look at this. You've got break free. And it says, you're being asked to break free from the tribe in order to live your authentic life. Wow, this isn't easy, but it's very necessary if you're going to share your true self with others. Be brave, be real, be you, and trust that those who love you will always be there for you. Notice the butterfly, and let me also hold that message up for you. Wow. This is actually an amazing, amazing time for you, pile number 3. And I recognize that there might be some challenges around, because, change is not easy. It's unavoidable, but that doesn't mean we coast through it by any means. But this is something that your soul has been calling calling for, and moving you toward. This isn't like this isn't anything to do with like a rug being pulled out from under you. Not at all. This is this is this is the courage, tiger's eye, and the protection that you may feel like you need to go ahead and fully embrace the ascent. You've got nurturing here with that sun coming through. Is that like a, what do you call it? Like a plant house? I forget the real name for a plant house. But that's what's happening. This is a time in your life where, whether or not you knew it, you were being nurtured. And that nurturing needs to continue to break free and to take advantage of this new energy that's available to you. Really nurture your dreams right now. Pile number 3. If you chose this, this is really a time to nurture your dreams. This is really a time to see yourself cresting, cresting your life. I'm also getting here that this could be an age thing for some of you. If this is around retirement, and you're feeling pressured around aging and what this next segment of life looks like, Spirit is saying just take the time to nurture this part of you and this time of life, and treat it as something new. Treat it as an opportunity for something new. You've got the adventure in the south. As a direction, south very often points to energy, vitality, fire. It is the directional element related to fire. Again, you were drawn to the tiger's eye, fiery. So again, Spirit is saying, and you've got that bull energy, like do not back down from opposition. Right? Show strength and fortitude. I think there is a lot of that there. Even the fiery element, even though it's nurturing, but that sun being so powerful, sun contained in the tiger's eye as well, that warmth. Like you're being infused with everything that you need at this time to break free and embrace what's next. And no, it is not, it's not, it may not tickle your funny bone, and it is a lot to consider. But man, is it going to be good for you. You've got the cauldron. I brew the magic of miracles. I brew the magic of miracles. That's energizing. That's energy. That's creating something new. And even note, that's her coming up out the cauldron, right? That's with that powerful moon behind her. This is an incredible time for you to start to drum up energy around what you want to do next, or what career really means to you, what purpose and the energy to live your purpose really means to you. And there's a tremendous amount of energy that's being offered to you during this time. Tremendous amount of energy. Spirit is like, I'm here for it. We just need you to recognize, and don't worry. You got that 9 of Swords early on. Don't worry yourself about it. Don't approach this time of life with anxiety, because that just sets you back. Approach it as a time of rebirthing. Approach it as adventure in that South card. See that keyword there, adventure. Approach it like an adventure. And then that'll mitigate the resistance or those fears. Recognition comes for you. The world is taking notice of what you bring to the table, whether it comes in the form of awards, accolades, or praise. Let this be a reminder that you are capable of great things. All right. You hear that? You see that? And I'm loving how all of this is tying into your catalysts. Recognition. It may even be there's some form of entrepreneurship or doing a side hustle or getting out more and redoing or rethinking how you've done things, because that recognition is there for you. It wants it. You deserve the recognition. You have the life force and the desire to do tremendous things. Look at that. Can you imagine the effort it takes to get up that mountain? You've got it. You've definitely got it. And if you thought your path to that relied on someone else, especially in a professional capacity, now is the time to two things can happen. Either you will get the recognition long term, and provided that you continue to move, push, get that fire in your belly. But that breaking free, along with that departure that we saw earlier, it also really makes me feel like Spirit is saying, in order for you to get the recognition you deserve, you may have to consider what comes next and prepare yourself for that. You've got determination and certainty. Wow. Wow. The Sentinel. It's going to happen for you. Whatever this accomplishment is, whatever you've really applied a lot of your life force energy toward, it's going to happen. And it really does make you feel free. It makes you feel renewed. It makes you feel accomplished. It makes you feel seen. You know, the magic of miracles. I brew this. This is like, I did this. This is my creation. This is what I have done. And I think you're someone who needs that recognition. We all do. You know, you work hard. You care about what you do. You're trying to be authentic. You're trying to make a difference and achieve. And that is exactly what Spirit is saying is coming for you. But it does require, you've got that determination and that creativity to do it, with that bull saying, don't back down. Don't back down from opposition. Whether that opposition is limiting beliefs, whether that opposition is feeling like it's a certain time of life, and you know how much gas do you have left in the tank, like whatever that opposition is, you can do it. You're meant to do it. You're destined to do it. Okay. A stone that will help you now is rose quartz. Love. I love that too, because this is a full moon in Libra. The heart chakra. Anything to come from your heart, and your heart, not only being a master healer, but when you come from your heart, it can be energizing. It can be that thing that makes you go forward. It says, if you're not familiar with rose quartz, it helps with all emotional issues. It relieves depression, feelings of worthlessness. It brings love, empathy, compassion, and inner peace. It uses energy from the moon, love that, to support healing work that is soft, gentle, and non-threatening. There you have it. All right, get you some rose quartz. I even, you know, there's sort of a hue of rose quartz in this image that came for you. So do this with love, not countering the opposition. Even though we see the bull, it's not like you gotta break down walls or get a jackhammer to get to this next phase of your life. It really is through your heart, through knowing. And that's also, remember, going back to that nurturing, right? It's through your heart. It's through gentleness that you are able to enter this next phase. And you have Ariel that comes for you in nature. I love the fact that you got this card, because remember this, right? All of that nature. Plants would help you right about now. Drinking teas that are not just nutritious, but that have, you know, chamomile or other teas, lavender, other teas that are nurturing, but also clearly that come from nature. But time in nature for sure would help you during this full moon in Libra, and, you know, coming out of that for the next months. I'm seeing into summer, especially that tiger's eye. I'm seeing into summer. And your final card, look at this, timing wise. The number 33, tomorrow looks promising. Look again at that sun. Look at that. Sunbathing, I mean, of course, safely, sunscreen on or whatever you got to do. But there's going back again that you chose this warm tiger's eye. Sun and summer is a powerful, powerful time for you, pile number 3. And it's going to bring you a lot of clarity, getting rid of that 9 of Swords, breaking free, rebirthing in that butterfly, transforming. Alchemy is transformational as well. And it regrounds you. I think that's why you started out with that Ace of Pentacles, the grounding in nature. It could even be that the more time you spend in nature, tomorrow looks promising. It just uplifts your spirit. It's like breathing the air. You're going to get messages. You're treating it like an adventure. Maybe going to a new park or a beach or a lake or a river or a mountain, desert. Nature is where you're going to really come to terms with what this next step is. Embrace it. Bathe in it. All right? Take your rose quartz out there. Hold it close. All right? All right, pile number 3. I hope that was helpful. It gave you some things to think about. Tomorrow looks promising. Hold on to that, right? Hold on to that. All right, everybody, thank you so much for your support and for enjoying these readings. I certainly enjoy doing them for you, and I will talk to you real, real soon. Bye.